Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Shirtless Plantain Show. I'm your host, Tosin. I wasn't going to do a season preview of Manchester United, but I was like, you know what? Let's take a little bit of a measured approach. I know the season starts in a few hours, but I was like, you know what? Let's do it. Let's talk. So, let's talk about some negatives. I do not like the midfield. That's going to be my first point. I don't like Man United's midfield construction as it is right now. I've been begging for a midfield for years, for decades now, and I cannot judge the players. I cannot be harsh on players. I'm trying to learn to be more measured, more sensible in the way I talk about players, because these are human beings too. These are people who play week in and week out. They have their own things that they're going through personally. Otherwise, we're human. You know, we all bleed. We all got things that we deal with, personal, otherwise, things that happens with us. Yeah, they make a lot of money, but they're still human beings. You can't treat them like as if they're just pieces of meat. They're actual people too. But if I'm going to take that outside and like, listen, I don't like what I see from the midfield. I grew up in the era of seeing Roy Keane and Paul Scholes together. I see David Beckham on the team. I had a team full of players who could play the ball and find assists and connect the whole entire organization, connect the whole entire team, through the middle of the pitch. Giggsy was there as well. And even when we got Carrick too, even though in Hargreaves when he could play. So there were a lot of good midfield options growing up. But now you're starting to see Bruno Fernandes drop a little bit deep. I don't like that. Bruno needs to be close to the goal. Casemiro's legs are gone. Ugarte is not the very best on the ball. Kobe Maino's still raw and rough around the edges. And you look around, it's like, who else is there in the midfield? They need to go upgrade that. Obviously, the Baleba news came out that it's going to be at Brighton for another year. And if you have that money to be spent 100 mil on a player, there are options in the market for you to go out and go get. There is Rafael Yandinka if you want to go be crazy and go to Club Brugge. There is Lamine Camara in Monaco. There is Lucien Agume in Sevilla. So there's other options throughout the world. Angelo Stiller, I'm not sure about his release clause. I know next year something about that. But there are market options for Man United, especially if you have 100 mil for one player. You can probably get 2 or 3 midfield players if you want to and truly upgrade your team. Because I believe if United don't upgrade that midfield, they're going to finish top 10. They won't be finishing that high. Another thing I don't like the fan base being so crybaby-ish, man. You're Man United. Take it on the chin. Like, this is who you support. You support one of the biggest sporting franchises in the world, not just football. Every single sport, United is up there. They are one of the biggest, if not the biggest sporting franchise in the world. Take it on the chin. It's a badge of honor to support this team, man. It's a badge of honor to be the Devils, to be the one that everyone gets annoyed with. And nobody likes Man United, and be proud of that. Nobody likes you. Good. Love that. Take that on the chin. Like, yeah, they don't like us. I love that. You hate us. I love that even more. It's beautiful to be hated by everybody. It's good to be that person that nobody likes. I love that. That's fun. So that's the other negative I have. I don't like the noise around Ruben Amorim and players and fans not being a big fan. It's like, listen, back him, man. 40 years old, he did his thing as sport. And I understand the formation not the sexiest, but that's your coach, man. The owners believe in him. The board believe in him. Those who do the transfers, everybody that's like the big wigs behind believe in him. So yeah, the players believe in him too. So I know the 3-4-3 formation is not what you grew up watching. It's not the sexiest thing in the world, but it's not about what you see statically. It's about what you see in possession, out of possession. So take a look at that during this season. Look at the way the players move up, the way the players shifts out the side. Look at the runs that they make. Look at the way the players drop deep when someone overlaps. Take a look at things like that. Be a nerd a little bit about that. I don't also like the noise around the signings we made. In the day when I grew up, we signed players like Louis Saha. We signed players like Dwight York, Andy Cole, Roy Keane, Eric Cantona. We took them from some of these Premier League teams and just was great because of it. And I love to see United going to that well again. You're starting in Mbeumo, who scored 20 plus goals last year. Same thing with Cunha, scoring a lot of goals last year, and Šeško, who's still rough around the edges. Combined all three of our new signings up front, scored 48 goals in the leagues, respectively, between the three. United as a team scored 44 goals in the league. So it was just like, there's a big, significant upgrade here, right? There's a big, significant upgrade in this team. So that's another thing I don't like. It's like the way people say, oh, they overperformed the XG, did this and that. Listen, man, football's played in the pitch, okay? You can look at the stats all you want, but football's played in the pitch. It's played between here and just being courageous and things like that. So I'm down with the signings. I've talked about Šeško ad nauseum. I've talked about these players. The one thing I will say about Mbeumo that I love the most is his first touch. I also really love Cunha's tenacity. So more to be said about the transfers. There's 17 more days left. United definitely to upgrade their midfield. So let's talk about some positives. I love the way the new Carrington looks. This is where the players are going to spend majority of their time. Obviously, they play at Old Trafford, but your training facility and like in anything in life, if your work environment's not fun to be around, the people you work around, the place you work, you're not going to do your best work. Like sometimes you can, but for the most part, you need places that just bring that out of you, that make you want to be at work every day, that makes you want to do your best and be optimal for what you're doing. Because you gotta remember, this is these guys' jobs, okay? Like this is how they pay their bills, how they feed their families through football. I know it sounds insane, but this is their 9 to 5. This is their hustle. So if they're where they're working at is great, they're gonna have a great time. So I love the way the new Carrington looks. Another thing I find positive, I went to go see United at MetLife on the 26th of July. Loved it, man. The players look like they're all together. They're bonded. And, Ruben Adams talked about this. Other players have talked about this. Reporters have talked about it. The camaraderie looks better. The players look like as if they're all one. So hopefully that carries on off the pitch, onto the pitch, and players are fighting for each other and they're going out there because when you're happy together, you get to show out a little bit more. So that's also another good thing. The last thing I'm very positive about this season is the fact that it can't get worse. You finish 15th. If we get worse, we're going to get relegated. So it can't be worse than last year, can it? I hope not. Last thing, the kits. Man United's 3 kits are all 10 out of 10. That black kit, though, my God, Adidas. I need another one. I need that kit, Adidas. If anybody from Adidas listens to me, I need that black Man United kit in a double XL in large. Long sleeve, I need that. Long sleeve, double XL, please. I need that. That is a beautiful kit. So the home, away, and third, 10 out of 10 kits. I fell in love with all 3. Just beautiful kits. The red, the home kit is beautiful. The white and purple one, absolutely gorgeous. With that black kit, woof, gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. So yeah, I mean, season starts. If you could take one thing away from this is don't be a coward, man. You support Man United. Behave like it. You support for one of the biggest sporting franchises in the world. It's gonna be highs. And right now we're going to the very lows. But when that high comes, listen, talk your shit. Talk your shit, because we've been through a lot in this last decade. It's been rough. It's been a lot rough time to be a Man United fan. Everyone's getting their licks in. Everyone's laughing. It's like the bully that got bullied. It's like we bullied everybody for so long. Now we're getting bullied and everyone's laughing at it. But take your licks. Take your chops. It's okay. Because when United gets good again, you better talk all your shit. I just really hope that this season is course correct. I'm trying to take a much measured approach, not trying to say we're going to finish this high, this low, but if I can make a prediction where United going to finish, I will give you my prediction based on the midfield upgrade. If we get a midfield upgrade, I can see us sneak into a top 4. If we don't fix that midfield, the highest I can see us finishing is maybe 8th, maybe 9th. But without that midfield, it's going to be a rough season. But I'm cautiously optimistic. 17 more days left in the transfer window. September 1st it closes. So I am hoping and praying that Jason Wilcox, Christian Favelli, all these guys are looking and say, hey, we got to fix this midfield yesterday. I think Ruben knows it too. He's trying to be a little bit played it down. Like, oh, I love my midfield. No, you don't. Fix that midfield. Get Kobe Mainoo some more help. And we'll go again. So, I'm Tosin. Thank you so much for listening. I'm out. Everyone take it easy. Peace.